Hi guys, it's Hayden Crawford here from the Dreamtime Academy, and welcome to today's live Star Numerology readings. Great for you to be joining me today. How is everyone? Have you had a good week? What's been going on? How are you coping with the lockdown? Are you still alive? It's been quite a challenging time for a lot of people, this, hasn't it? But today it's all about having some fun, all right? And finding out a little bit more about the truth of who you really are on this planet. Who did you come here to be? Okay, was it the person that you thought you were brought up to be by your parents, or have you changed? Have your ideals changed? Have your perceptions on life changed? Well, a lot of this is because we're waking up. In 2020, what's happening is we are literally waking up. So we're actually starting to see the truth of who we are, that we are, you know, immortal divine beings of light living out temporary human experience. And through the color mirrors and numerology, we can really start honing down about the truth of our vibrational nature and see how expanded our consciousness can actually be when we start aligning with unity consciousness. So today we've got Azino here. Hi, so excited for the live reading today. She's in South Africa. It's 3 a.m. Wow, you're up early or late. Whatever the case may be. Your birthday is the 8th of the 11th, 1995. We've also got Hayley's back and Jessica Dixon. Hi, Jessica. How are you? Lovely to see you here today. So thanks so much for joining me. We're going to have some fun today. So it all starts with a date of birth. And from there, I can work out your personality blueprint, your strengths and weaknesses. I can work out your soul origin, your purpose as well. I'm also offering reports as well for anyone who wants more of a detailed reading. Obviously, they're just insights today, but if you're wanting a report, there's a link below because you can get a full personalized report, which is handwritten by me for only $39. So just bear that in mind if you want something that's a little bit more juicy. So I was doing heaps of them earlier on this week for you guys, and I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed looking at some of your really interesting charts. There's some very unique people that's coming into this group with some really fantastic and very unusual charts. And I've done a lot of charts before, believe me, over the last 5 years. And I can definitely see some beautiful star beings coming through here. So it's absolutely fantastic to have you here. So we've got Jessica, we've got Loyal to a Fault. Hiya, Loyal to a Fault, Azino, Hayley, Amy Lotter as well from the USA. And Jessica Dixon. So I'm going to start with you actually, Azino, this morning, purely because it's at 3 a.m. in South Africa. I actually went to South Africa last year. I went to Cape Town and Johannesburg, but I actually went down the garden route and I ended up in Stanford. Are you anywhere near there? Azino. Excellent. So Loyal to a Fault is called Kelly. Excellent. I might just bring up the color just a little tiny bit and make sure that you can see me okay. That's better, isn't it? It's a bit brighter, isn't it? Don't want you to think I'm sitting here in the darkness. All right, Azino. Okay, we'll start with Azino. So Azino. All right, and this is just purely because you're up at 3 a.m. Like that's pure craziness. And you're the 8th of the 11th. Are you the 8th of November or are you the 11th of August? Which one are you? I'm going to do you as the 8th of November 1995. So please tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong, Azino. So what is I first of all, I start by drawing out your birth chart. So very quickly there, just putting that in like that. And then I can show you straight away what your chart looks like. All right. There you go, Azino. Actually, you can probably see it there. Azino. What we can see there is you've got this arrow here, and then all of the numbers are there. All right. So hi, we've got it's the 8th of November. I got it right, Azino. Phew. Hi, Joanne Soma. Joanne in Northern California. Fantastic. And Stephanie Milligan. Excellent. From Edmonton. It's AM, is it, in Edmonton? Excellent. So we're on with Azino first and foremost. So what we can see from Azino is he's a day number 8. All right. So a day 8. And he's a ruling number 9, 10, 19, 24, 25, 26, 34. So you're a ruling 7 And your ruling number carries the most weight in your numerology. So if you want to find out your biggest personality blueprint or your soul purpose, you get that from your ruling number. Now, bearing in mind, we're just looking at birth charts today. We're not looking at birth and name charts. To get a full accurate report, you've really got to have both side by side so that you can look at the number influences through the soul urge number and the outer expression number, which is the vowels and consonants within the name, as well as the day number, ruling number. And you also get a personal year cycle number from your date of birth, because we travel in 9-year cycles. So, you know, during this period, we go through peaks and troughs. And what we can see there is that you've got a 4, 5, 6, 6, 12, 13, 14. So you're in a personal year cycle 5. So you're right in the middle of your 9-year cycle at the moment, okay, which is a 5. And 5 is represented by this bottle here, which is called Mercury in the color mirrors system. All right, so that's Mercury. So Mercury is green over green, okay? And it's about travel. It's about communication. It's about versatility. You think about Mercury as a substance. It's a liquid metal, so it's fluid, it's flowing. So really, during your 5-year, you don't want to feel restricted. So it's going to be quite challenging for you as Eno. That's probably why you're awake at 3 o'clock in the morning, because you don't want to feel restricted. And with COVID lockdown, you know, you're probably tearing your hair out. You probably want to be out and about, and hopefully, I think in South Africa, you've got to stay in until the end of the month, don't you? I think there's been quite a big, severe lockdown over there. Just talking to my suppliers of colour mirrors over in Stamford, they've had lockdown, like quite a strict lockdown. So you'll be feeling that, you know, quite intensely. So really, freedom of expression is also important to you this year. So you might need to start being creative to get that sense of creativity. Okay, so your ruling number is a 7. So okay, we'll start with this now. The 7 is Neptune energy. So in the color mirror system, bottle 7 is represented by Neptune, and Neptune is the Roman god of the sea. So it's turquoise over turquoise, and turquoise is the color of the upper heart. So actually, you have to learn through your own experience, as Eno. So for you, it's really about, no one can tell you how to live your life. You've got to live it in the way that you want to live it. So if you want to stay up at 3 o'clock in the morning, then that's what you've got to do. And so no one can really tell you how to live your life, but you know, you're interested in magic, mysteries, illusions, miracles, faith. Turquoise is about trust. So living a life on faith is very important, but through the experiences that you have during your life, you can then share them at a later stage when you're ready with the world. So you can go global with those teachings. So actually, ruling 7 people make amazing teachers. So you get a lot of 7s that go into teaching, whether they're spiritual teachers or not. It doesn't really matter, but we're really feeling like you want to share your wisdom with the world. So that's that beautiful Atlantean knowledge as well that comes through there. Turquoise is connected to Atlantis, and also Aquarius, Aquarian energy. All right, it's that beautiful age of Aquarius that we're moving into, this golden age. And it's having that knowledge in your conscious and subconscious mind that you can share with the rest of the world. Now, you're a day number 8 person as well. So you've got a very practical aspect to your nature as well. And you're very independent too, as Eno. And in the color mirrors, bottle 8 is Saturn. Saturn is pale violet over violet. Now, these are very practical people a lot of the time, very organized. And actually, they do like to follow rules and regulations. So they're very process driven. But they're also very nurturing. Okay, but they make great managers. So they make really good money managers as well. So if you've got the influence of the 8, you're an independent teacher. And Azina says, I'm stepping into my role. You're on point. I plan to travel after lockdown. Good for you, Azina. You need to travel, right? Especially this year. So hopefully the travel restrictions will be lifted and you'll be able to hop off on your way. Excellent. Hi, Rosie. Nice to see you. So we've got Joanne Soma. Laura Morton's back. Hiya, Laura. Theo, how are you going? Have you written any books, Theo says, on numerology? Actually, yes, I have. Yeah. So I've got some ebooks, some short ebooks that I've compiled, and also an online course as well that I'm offering for everybody who comes onto my live streams on a Friday for only $19.95. So you can learn this amazing art and philosophy for just $19.95. 95 Australian dollars, and it's a self-paced course where it's taught through video tutorials, and you get the ebooks in there as well. So it's a really great way of you being able to, you know, harness all this beautiful wisdom and bring it into your day-to-day life so you can understand yourself better and everyone else around you as well. Okay, so jump on board that offer. It's only going until COVID lockdown is gone, and then it'll be back up to 99 Australian dollars. Okay, so there's a massive $70 saving on that at the moment, so I'd get onto it. Anyway, next one. Okay, so we can see that you're, you know, Azino, you've got this arrow of arrow of determination, which is this arrow here, which is the 1, 5, and 9. Now, the 1, 5, and 9, Azino, it means that you've got great persistence in achieving your goals. So if you set a goal for yourself, you're the sort of person that won't start and stop. You know, it's not like you're a non-starter. You'll see it through to finality, and especially when you're living positively. Because remember, we all have habits and patterns of living either positively or negatively, depending on what happens to us during the course of the day, usually. So when we live positively, we can harness the powers of the positive arrows in our birth charts. And for you, it's this real strength, this inner strength to get things done, and this persistence to you know, really achieve your goals in life. So I have no worries at all about you. You're an independent spiritual teacher, you know, who's going to be off traveling very, very soon. So these are just some insights. You know, remember, you really do have to look at all aspects of your chart. Now, as far as Starseed origins, I would look to Arcturus. I'm getting Arcturus is coming through for you. So if you haven't watched the video already, as you know, look at the video, which is the traits of the Arcturians, and see if you identify with those. Now, if you don't for any reason, you could look at Lyra as well. So I'm getting Lyra for you as well, because you've got that beautiful Leo influence going through your number 8. Excellent. Right, so who should we go to next? All right, let's have a look. I'm going to have a look through the list, and I'm going to go to Joanne Soma. Joanne Soma, you're next. Please leave a few comments, Azino, below, and let everybody know how you identified with your colors and your numbers, and if they made sense for you. Joanne, excellent. Now, if you're here and you haven't made yourself known yet, please leave a few comments to let me know where you are in the world, who you are, what your name is, and what your date of birth is. And I'll have a scan through, and what I'll do is I'll intuitively pick out some of you during the course of this hour. Obviously, we're going until 10 o'clock, so we've got another 3/4 of an hour. So I'm aiming to get through as many of you as I possibly can. But if I don't get to you for any reason, I'm live every single Friday between 9 and 10 Western Standard Time. So make sure you jump on board the next time. Or if you can't wait that long, get yourself one of my readings, all right, my charts, because I create the charts, your birth chart, your name chart, and I compile it in a report with all of your color influences as well, so that it can help to rebalance you, so you can start to live the life of your dreams, feel more free, feel more purposeful, feel more joy. You know, this is what it's all about, aligning to your truth instead of that old reality paradigm that's associated with the old 3D matrix. And we don't want that anymore. We're aligning to the new earth, okay? All the dream timers are aligning to the new earth matrix. So we've got Isaiah there. We've also got Universal Vibes. There you go. So Universal Vibe says, you've already done mine and it was very accurate. Love numbers. Wish you had a shop in Alaska. I wish I had a shop in Alaska as well. That sounds amazing. So Joanne. All right. So I'm going to you, Joanne, now. So Joanne Soma is, now what's your, so you say 9:55. What's your full date of birth, Joanne? You put your full date of birth in there for me, please. Because 9:55 is what was your actual date of birth? That would be really cool for me to know. Faith, got Faith Fosco from Ohio. A life path number 22. You're the master builder, Faith. Awesome. I love 22s. You are here for a spiritual purpose, and you've got the ability to be able to get there as well. You'd be able to put the practical steps together to be able to lead and guide humanity forward into the golden age. So that's beautiful that you've got that, Faith. Are you a clairvoyant or a psychic? So Azina says, all your reading were very accurate. I'm already doing everything you said. I had an awakening during lockdown, but I'm downloaded lots of spiritual knowledge prior to awakening. So He's ready, or sorry, she is ready to help people. Good on you, Azino. So Joanne, so you're the 19th of the 9th, 1955. Excellent. All right, this is an interesting chart to do, Joanne, because the double 5 is interesting. You've got the 3 9s there too, and you've got 2 1s. So straight away, what we can see is you've got the arrow of there you go. You've got the arrow of determination. Okay, just like a Zeno, you got the same arrow, that strength, that persistence, that determination to get things done. And it's a very pronounced one that you've got there. Because look, it's a very solid line because you've got all the, you've got 2 numbers there, 2 numbers there, and 3 numbers there. You're a day number 10 person. Okay, so I'll explain what that means in just a second. You're a ruling number 9, 10, 29, 39, 39, 9, 11, 12. You're a 3, a ruling 3. So now the way it works is we have, these are mental numbers, okay, mind numbers. So Pythagoras believes that there are 3 planes of existence. Okay, there's the mental plane, there is the soul plane, and there's the physical plane. Now the mental plane are the numbers 3, 6, and 9. The emotional plane are the numbers 2, 5, and 8. And the physical plane are the numbers 1, 4, and 7. That's how it works. So that's how you kind of decipher the difference between the numbers. So what you can see is like Joanna's got 3 numbers on her mental plane. She's got 3 9s, but it's all towards the right-hand side. She's got the 2 5s, the center of the emotional plane. That's that mercurial energy coming back again. She's got 2 of those. So Joanne, that means you're a very feeling person. You feel things very intensely. So for you, I wouldn't get into any forms of arguments or disagreements before you eat because it can affect your digestive system. You're very sensitive. It's your central nervous system gets affected. You've got the 2 1s. Then the 1 is communication. It's masculine energy. The 1 relates to the sun. The 2 relates to the moon. The 3 relates to Jupiter. So we can see as the ruling number 3 person, what we can see there is this. All right. So Joanne, this is your ruling number. So it's coral over coral. It's the new Christ ray. So for you, it's about self-acceptance. So a lot of ruling 3 people actually live with a lot of self-doubt during their life. They don't believe in themselves. They have to go through that process of kind of, really fully understanding that they are divine love and joy. When you mix those 2 together, you're a Christed human. That's as simple as that. And you want expansion. So for you, you'll be inspired by lyrics, music, poetry. You're very whimsical and you've got far more important things to do with your life purpose than to just have a normal, boring, humdrum 9-to-5 day job. It's not about that for you. A leader as well because your day number is a 10, so you're actually a very adaptable person, and the 10 is the wheel of fortune, which is gold over coral. So this is a very soft feminine power that can never be misused. So it's away from the ego. So it's not like the 1, the sun, which is purely masculine. The olive in the subconscious section of this bottle represents this very soft feminine power that you have access to, and the gold is authentic power and wisdom. So this is the goddess Isis, who gave birth to the sun, the Egyptian goddess. So it's that sort of energy. And when you combine it really with Jupiter energy, what you've got is an expansion with an expanded leader once she's learned to self-accept herself. All right. So actually, for you, you've got a lot of strengths there, and hopefully you've been able to harness them. And especially with the arrow of determination, because you're a real humanitarian. Joanne, you are a real humanitarian because, if you think about the 3 9s, the 9 in numerology represents wisdom. It's the healer. It's the psychotherapist. It's the counselor. It's the person who takes on a lot of responsibility in their lifetime. You've got 3 of them. So it's about determination. It's about ambition as well. So very ambitious, but you want to help and heal the world. So you want to be of service to the planet as well. So you remember the 9 is also a mind number. So for you, I would say that you've got a lot of energy that you could put towards being of service, but being a leader in that. So it could be that you move into helping people in some way, maybe even volunteering in your life as it goes on, or helping people in some way. Okay, so hopefully this is making sense for you. But you feel things very intensely, Joanne. Now you're in a 4, 9, 10. So you're in a 13, you're in a 23. So you're in a 23, you're in a 5 as well. So a little bit like a Xeno, you've got the mercurial energy around you. So again, you might be feeling a bit constricted as well with the lockdown. Again, freedom, freedom, freedom. You don't want to feel constricted. Mercury wants communication, versatility. Green relates to the color of the heart chakra as well. So green is an expansion of the heart, but it's actually, sometimes it has to deal with emotions like jealousy and envy, but it wants space. All right, fundamentally, green in color therapy is about space. I need my space. You know, and for you, you want your space to expand. So Joanne Soma says, you're hitting all my points. I'm a master Reiki healer and an empath. Well, of course you are. Of course you are. You couldn't possibly be anything else. Because really what we have to look at here, we've got to look at the energy that emanates from the day that you chose to come to this planet. So you chose the day that you came here. So in your contract, before you even arrived, you know, you were sitting around a big boardroom table with all the players that you wanted to invite into your life, and you would all drew up contracts about what they were going to teach you and what you were going to teach them, and what work you were going to do, what expression of life you were going to experience, so you could send it back up to source so that the universe could expand. And for you, you chose, okay, well, I'm going to go in as a day number 10 person. So I'm going to be very adaptable. I'm probably going to keep a lot of my emotional stuff to myself. You know, so a lot of my relationships might remain a little bit superficial on one level. I might only have a couple of close friends that I share things with, but I also am a leader. So I'm going to step into my role of power, and this beautiful Isis power, this energy of Isis, which is the, you know, this gorgeous Egyptian wisdom. But remember as well, when you get two colors coming in like gold and olive, like the yellow and green combinations relates to the Cathars. And the Cathars were a group of people that existed many thousands of years ago that actually became alchemists. So they actually learned how to make a lot of money because they knew how to turn base metal into gold. But then the church cottoned onto this and they were like, right, we're not having any of that. And so they killed them because they wanted to be able to, they wanted all their money. So they took all their money, they killed them, and they got this feeling of persecution. So sometimes there is a feeling of persecution, or that you might have been persecuted in a previous life, that comes through with that yellow and green combination. So the gold and the olive, or the yellow and the green. All right. So that can come up. Excellent. So Universal Vibes says, I love information numbers givers. Everything is number vibration for our highest good. It really is. We're sacred geometry. That's all we are. We're energy. Nothing else exists apart from energy. And what's energy? Energy is light. And what's light? Light is information. Where does it come from? The angelic realms. Angles equals numbers. You know, I'm from Andromeda, you know, that's my soul origin. And in Andromeda, it's just all angles. It's sacred geometry. So like my wisdom comes from that timeline, and I've got access to it again now. And through, you know, a process of working with color, working with numbers, it's frequency. So it's being able to read frequency. It's a bit like learning how to read Braille. we find the energy of numbers and color as being quite robust and informational. When you open up your crown chakra, the information pours down very, very quickly, and you're able to express that. Okay. So hopefully you're all enjoying this and understanding what I'm saying, but it's a process of awakening. Okay. So sometimes we don't wake up overnight. Like I was doing a chart for a lady earlier on in the week, and she said, oh, you know, I feel a bit confused after reading the chart because I still don't feel any more clarity towards my soul purpose. Well, that doesn't necessarily happen immediately. Sometimes it does. But for me, you know, I started my Reiki journey when I was 26 years old. I'm 47 years old now. And, you know, it was only 5 years ago I became a Reiki master, but it took me 12 years to go from Reiki 1 to Reiki 3. And it wasn't until I became a Reiki master that the dam started breaking in my mind. And I started really being able to harness and access this wisdom from my star family. And also, you know, from the angels and guides and stuff like that. So, you know, it'll come in at exactly the right time for you. So don't be in too much of a hurry to have, you know, to try and evoke a spiritual awakening. This year we're in 2020. 20 is all about awakening anyway. So the globe is waking up. So on a conscious level, collectively, we're all waking up. But sometimes we might not get all of the details immediately. So please don't be in too much of a hurry. So Joanne Selma says, thank you, you're really special. I paint with vibrational energy and I love your color therapy. Fantastic. Well, look, if any of you guys are ever interested in becoming a color mirrors practitioner, I do teach color mirrors to practitioner level as well. So I went over to South Africa, learned from the lady who created the system behind me last year. So now I've got the ability to teach this. Wherever you are, I can teach this amazing modality to you. All right, and I do it online as well, so you don't have to come to Australia to learn. All right, so yeah, so bear that in mind. If you're passionate about color, you love numbers, you know, get on board, start raising your vibe, and start offering these things out to your own tribes as well. Rosiel, this is amazing. There's so much in it. I know, it's amazing. It changed my life a few years ago when I started learning about numerology. And of course, the color mirrors is a numerology based color therapy system. Now I teach Pythagorean numerology, and this the numerology of the color mirrors isn't aligned with Pythagorean numerology, but numbers are numbers. They're all the same really, and there's only slight variations, but they actually blend and combine so beautifully and magically that it fills my heart full of joy. Absolutely fills my heart full of joy. Excellent. Lovely. And Faith Fosco, you love color psychology as well. It's the way forward. Now, if you think about, you know, how medicine has been, and, you know, it's been prescribed drugs, and, you know, we give really sick people, you know, drugs that make them even worse. Why would we give poison to sick people? So there's going to be an end of that reality paradigm as we move into the new Earth matrix. No one's going to be wanting to go to the doctors anymore, because there's been a lot of, you know, don't get me wrong, like doctors are good for surgery and stuff like that when we need help like that. But for our mental, emotional, and spiritual upliftment and healing, really, we've got to do that from within. So we have to take responsibility for our own healing. And the best tools are vibrational tools. So Einstein said that the future of medicine will be vibrational, and he's absolutely right. So vibrational energy is the key. You know, I offer Australian bush flower essences to my clients as well, because the flower essences are so pristinely beautiful and perfect that they also carry numerology within their doctrine of signatures, which is in the number of petals that the flowers have, and also the color of the plant, how it smells, how it feels. And it's almost like nature speaks to us. And if only we listen to and tune into the understanding of the sacred geometry within the doctrine of signatures, all of our answers lie within nature. You know, so we just have to wake up to it. So then we can self-heal, get rid of all the pharmaceuticals, which is just there to try and make money, and start empowering ourselves again. This is what it's all about. So yeah, so Universal Vibe says, yes, I worked in medical my whole life. Now I just work with dialysis. Fantastic. Because there is benefits with orthodox medicine. I'm not anti, you know, sort of orthodox treatments. No, don't get me wrong, but it has its place. But then so does complementary treatments as well. And we have to use the two in balance and in harmony together. Excellent. So Faith says she's getting into sound healing as well, and have an entire life of everything I need to learn for my soul journey. Fantastic. I love it. Excellent. So we've got Parfum there as well. Parfum Eluia. Excellent. So we've got that one. I'm going to go to Melissa Rui. Melissa. Okay. Are you still there, Melissa? I'm going to look at your numerology now. How are you, Parfum? It's lovely to see you. Okay, so Melissa Rui. That's a cool name, Rui. I haven't heard that surname before. And so you were the 27th of December, 1981. All right, so we're looking at Melissa's now. Okie dokie. So we've got the 111, we've got the 9, we've got the 8. We've got the 2 2s and a 7. Excellent. I think I've got all your numbers there. Okay. Excellent. All right. I'm going to show you what this looks like. All right. Can you see that? So what we've got with Melissa's is we've got 2 arrows. We've got the arrow of activity, which is the 7, 8, and 9. Okay. So what that actually means for you, Melissa, is that you're always on the go. Okay. So, you know, you like to be active. And sometimes this can border on hyperactivity. So you're always here, there, doing this, doing that, you know, always on the go, always looking for something else to do. You've also got what's called the arrow of frustration. Now that's the lacking of the 4, 5, and 6. Now, when they're not present, they also create an arrow. And this is it's called an arrow of individuality, and this one is construed as a negative one, but don't sort of misread that, because it doesn't mean to say your life is negative. It just means to say that for you there was frustrations during childhood, or there could be frustrations within relationships for you. So this could manifest as your mum and dad didn't survive, their relationship could have separated. It could have been that you felt out of place when you were growing up, there was ill health or sibling rivalry, something like that. But it can also knock onto your relationships with, you know, your significant other in your life as well. You're also very intuitive. So that's your 2 arrows. You can see she's got 2 twos. Okay. And the twos are feminine, they're moon energy. So it's intuitive. So very intuitive. But sometimes you need to learn to distrust your intuition a little bit, Melissa, because you've actually got the equivalent of 3 twos, which is a slight out of balance, because the perfect balance is 2 twos and 2 ones. So when you've got 3, it's almost like, because you're a woman, you get a surrogate 2, because women are naturally more intuitive than men. So for you, you know, sometimes you just need to sort of question whether what you're feeling intuitively is real, or whether it could just be your imagination or a bit of paranoia creeping in. Now, you've also got the 3 ones. Now, the 3-1 people, there's 2 very distinct types here. You've got the ones that talk non-stop. All right, they just don't know when to shut up. So you get them on a roll and they'll just keep on talking for England. I've got 3-1s in my chart. But then on the same time, you've got 3-1 people that are very quiet, and they don't say boo to a goose. They shrinking violets. So, like, for example, my personality is a bit like, okay, so when people are listening, I'll talk and I'll use that time to educate. Whereas a lot of the time I'm very quiet and I sit there and I just think and I just read, or I play with color or paint or something like that. But, you know, but there's usually 2 very distinct types. So you could have both of those aspects, or you could be one or the other. Okay. Hiya, Michelle. Lovely to see you here. Michelle Renson. Beautiful. Now, Michelle's been on my numerology course, haven't you, Michelle? Now, you enjoyed that. That was in Fremantle at the Art of Letting Go. But this time I'm teaching numerology level 1 as a Zoom on the 3rd of, I think it's the 3rd of May. So in just a couple of weeks' time. And that's as well as the course that I offer for $19.95. This is a one which will actually be 5-hour Zoom course with a group of people where you get to ask questions, whereas the other course that I offer, it's self-paced video tutorials. Okay, so if you want to jump on board that, you can join the Zoom session as well. Get your tickets, only $99 to learn numerology in a group Zoom environment. Okay, there you go. Michelle Renson says, I highly recommend it. There you go. So it teaches you so much about your truth, which is so important. Okay, so what we can also see, right? So Melissa is a day number 9 person. All right. So, and your ruling number is a 9, 10, 18, 9, 10, 18, 19, 22, 24, 24 and 7 is 31, 31 over 4. So you're a 4, right? So I'm going to show you your color influences. Okay. So this is your day number, which is Mars 9. Okay. So you're a day number 9, you're a 27. So actually for you, like, it's important for you to say and do what needs doing and saying, instead of being meek and mild and holding things back. Because really, if we look at the complementary colors of red and orange, it's blue and green. And that's the communication bottle in the color mirror system. So really, you need to be able to express how you're feeling, because otherwise it can create anger. And, you know, you need to be wisely assertive. So you need to learn how to be wisely assertive. You're a very wise person. You've got a lot of wisdom, and you're actually a healer. So somebody who can help and heal people and be of service to people as well. So it might, when I say a healer, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're an energy healer. You could be interested in, you know, being of service to people, but you're also very ambitious, but very idealistic as well. So you see the world through rose-colored spectacles. You've also got this bottle as your ruling number, which is a 4. Now, the 4 is Uranus energy, which is the planet of the future, and it's yellow over a deep, deep turquoise. Now, you've got to expect the unexpected with Uranus. You really do. It's about breaking down old structures, people, places, events, situations in your life that no longer serve you. So it's a very practical number. So the 4 people are often very good with their hands. It's a very practical, earth-based, you know, material. So you like the material aspects of life. You're very practical, but also, you know, during this process in your life, you'll be letting go of, you know, all of these old structures that you find restrictive. because to move into the future, which is the planet Uranus, it really is about sort of breaking down old order. So a lot of the indigo people, you know, they come in because they want to change processes, they want to change systems. And this is red energy as well that's there to support you. It's wisdom and red energy that comes in that says, I'm going to give you the energy so you can get this stuff done. You don't like the way things have been done already. So you want the future to be lighter, to be brighter, for new beginnings. And, you know, but sometimes you have to go through shock, trauma, you know, abuse, stuff like that. So you can kind of release that anger. You know, the antidote to red related emotional conditions such as anger and frustration is green, because green is the complementary color of red. So when we bring green into red energy, it actually balances it and it actually neutralizes it. So your antidote is always your complementary color. Do you get it? So for example, if your issue in life, and this could be due to your Chiron return, is you know, shock, trauma, and abuse, then the antidote for orange, shock, trauma, and abuse is blue. Blue is the complementary color of orange, and blue is about communication and expression. So a lot of the time, the way we deal with shock, trauma, and abuse is by talking about it. Okay, so you see how it works. So there you go. So we've got that beautiful energy coming in. So there's a lot of strength there. But it's also like, you know, it also can be quite destructive when those two energies come together. When Mars and Uranus come together, it's like an explosion of stuff. But also for you, because you're a 31-4, if we look at the number 31 in the color mirror system, it's this bottle here. Now, this bottle here is called the Hermit, and the Hermit is green over deep green. And this is what, like, in traditional tarot, the Hermit, it wants to retreat away from the rest of the world for heart healing. Okay, so it isolates itself a little bit. So for you, it might be because you are very sensitive. You know, you're very, very sensitive, Melissa. So you might retreat away from the world because you don't want to sort of get involved in that confrontation. And sometimes you run away as well because you've got that arrow of activity. So you might be inclined to kind of just run away and deal with it another day. Excellent. How did that go for you? Did that make sense for you? So you're in a personal year cycle 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 14, 15, 16. So you're in a 7. So your personal year cycle is a 7. All right. Now I'd say I'm getting Syrian energy coming up for you. So look at my video for Sirius, okay, on my YouTube channel, the traits of a Syrian starseed, and see if that resonates with you. Now, this is your year cycle. So when you get to a year cycle 7, it's called a Mack truck year sometimes, because if you're not living your purpose, you can experience this year as being through sacrifice. So for example, when I went through my last 7 year, I decided to leave my corporate job and move down to a completely different location, like a couple of 100 kilometers away from where I was living, sold my house and left corporate to become a healer. Fundamentally, you know, that's kind of eventuated to be that, but that's what happened, you know. So it was quite a significant change, and it was because my old corporate life wasn't serving me. I wasn't getting any joy out of it anymore, and I've done it for like 12 years, but it was just not aligned to me. So I experienced my 7 years quite challenging. But you know, if I'd already been living my purpose at that point, I wouldn't have experienced that 7 to be so harsh. So sometimes, you know, during your 7 year, it can be a bit confrontational. And the way we work that out, remember, is we just add the day number. So your day with your month, and then the current year. So like, for example, we're in 2020. So the 2 and the 2 is a 4. Plus you'd add the 2 and the 1 together for Melissa, which is the 12 for her November, and the 2 and the 7 for a 27. So and then you reduce it down to the lowest number. Okay, the lowest single number. And it's a 7, goes to a 7. So it shows that she's in a 7 year. So Melissa, you're in a 7 year. Does that make sense to you? So Haley says, it's my best friend's birthday today. I'd love to show her a reading. Jacqueline is the 24th of the 4th, 1982. Well, we'll have a look at that. Haley, definitely. Excellent. And Azina, you've paid for the numerology course. Looking forward to learning. Fantastic. I'm so delighted that you have jumped on board, Azina. Excellent. I can't wait to teach you. So cool. Excellent. Hello, Bella. How are you? Am I speaking to you later, Bella? Is it you I'm speaking to? I'm speaking to a Bella later on today, but I don't know whether it's you or not. And then Abby C says, if you had any time, thanks for all you do. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And then we've got Grace from Texas here. Hiya. Love to everyone says parfum. Excellent. Excellent. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to have a look now at, let's have a look. I'm going to do the birthday reading actually for Jacqueline because it's her birthday. I mean, you know, what are the chances? Let's do that for Jacqueline, shall we? Definitely. Excellent. So Melissa, how did you go with that? Did that make sense for you? If you leave a few comments to let me know if you resonated with your amazing chart. Really, it's a beautiful chart there. Excellent. Okay, so let's have a look. Haley, it's your best friend as well. So Jacqueline, and you can get Jacqueline to watch this back as well. Jacqueline, this is for you, Jacqueline. Happy birthday. All right, Jacqueline. All right, so Jacqueline is the 24th of the 2nd, 1982. 1982. Brilliant. Okie dokie. Whoa, this is an interesting one, guys. You're going to love this one. Okay, so we've got 4, we've got a 1, we've got a 2, we've got a 9. Excellent. Right, so there's Jacqueline's. Thanks, Loyal to a Fault. That's awesome. You love all the colors. Yeah, I love them too. It's like I'm quite attracted, obviously, to color, as you can see, and each of the bottles has its own unique key frequency. And what we do is we bathe in the bottles. So we pour them into our bath and we allow the color to go into the cellular memory and to clear away the old emotional or spiritual blockage or mental blockage that's holding us back. So we use the frequencies very much on a physical level to anchor in the changes that happen as we process in alpha state during the bathing time. They're amazing. I've bathed in so many of them. Okay, so what we can see is, first of all, Jacqueline might be a bit skeptical to this, you know. All right, so Haley, Jacqueline might feel a bit, because she's got the arrow of the inquirer. So that means for her, anything that's not scientifically proven, she may question until she gets her own proof. However, once she gets her own proof, she'll become like an avid convert. So hopefully after this, you know, Jacqueline, you'll be an avid convert, okay? Because really, you know, this is about you having to go through your own research, your own investigation, you know, your own analysis of something before you take on board new concepts. So you can be a bit skeptical of new things. Now, we can see you're very intuitive, okay? You're very sensitive. You're probably very good with animals. You can probably relate very well with animals or old people or children, you know, so because you're very empathic, so you can feel how those people are feeling. And sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming because you might mistake other people's feelings for your own. Now, you're also a very loving person as well, because you're a day number 6 person, which is Venus energy. I love Venus. That's why I'm wearing pink today. Now, Venus is pink over pink. So we know that the planet Venus is about love. So this is about self-love, unconditional love, romantic love as well. And it's about recognizing that, you know, love from the external other only really comes in when you learn to love, fully accept and love yourself at a soul level, unconditionally loving yourself. But also the 6 relates to, because it's almost like infused red energy. So there can be issues with mother that come up with this bottle as well. Venus is very creative. So you're actually a very creative person, Jacqueline. You like to be at home, and creativity comes in numerous different forms. Doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily be painting pictures all your life. But it also, you know, it means that, you know, you might be good in the garden, you might be a good chef, you might be talented, you know, in some creative field. But you see, we also have opposites to the numbers as well. So not all the numbers only carry positive influences. Some numbers, you know, well, all numbers have positive and negative connotations, and the opposite to creativity, which is what the 6 is, creativity and love, is destruction. So if you're living negative, Jacqueline, you can actually start worrying and you can get anxious or overwhelmed. So it can create that anxiety within you as well. So a beautiful way of being able to release that is through creativity, of course. Now, very independent, very organized person as well, because you've got the influence of the 8 and the 4, and both of those are about organization. 8 is about independence and to a certain extent wisdom and managing, and the 4 is very practical. But for you, Jacqueline, you struggle to talk about how you feel because you've only got 1, which is your masculine and the communication aspect, and no 5. So when you've got no 5, you don't really know how you feel from the center of your emotional plane, so you can react to emotional situations instead of responding to them. All right, so watch out for that. Maybe just count to 10 before you say stuff sometimes, because you can maybe be a little bit off track. But for you, I feel that you would rather withhold that. You probably suppress a lot of the things because you don't know how you're feeling, because you are very sensitive. So you rely very much on your sensitivity and your intuition. And sometimes, so there's a bit of psychic ability that comes in there as well. But again, I'd say learn to distrust that a little bit. Okay. So, oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong month, aren't I? So it's the 4th, the 24th of the 4th. Okay, so we can change that a little bit. So it all still applies because there's only one number that's changed there. So she's still very, very sensitive. Okay, but she's just more practical. So the material aspects of life are even stronger. Okay, so we just changed 1, 4, 1, 2 for a 4. All right. So what you can see is the influence is exactly the same as we've spoken, but we've got less of the intuition. All right, so it's not as pronounced as that, which is good, and there's a lot more practicality there as well. So everything that I've said is still very accurate, just is emphasized on those 2 things. So the day number obviously is still a 5. Now we want to work out the ruling number as well. Okay, so what we can see is we've got 9, 10, 18, 19, 24, 28, 29, 30. So she's a ruling number 3. So the 3 is her biggest aspect. Okay. Now the 3 is is Jupiter. Now Jupiter is coral over coral. So coral over coral is this beautiful, if you think of the man and the woman come together, the 1 and the 2 come together and they create the 3. So it's this creativity, it's this fertility, it's this new life, it's this, it's this Christ consciousness. This is what this is all about. So it's expansion. But a lot of the time there's a lot of self-doubt. So a lot of the ruling 3 people have to look at how they believe and what they believe about themselves and check their beliefs, because if their beliefs are holding them back, they might need to let go of them and start looking at new ways of being able to perceive themselves and life. But there's big expansion that comes in. So there's a life purpose that needs to take place with the 3s. And for me, I would say that, this person just needs to stay away from being the victim or the martyr and trying to be too nicey. It's important this person nurtures themselves. But sometimes these 2 colors together, you can see they look like a little bit sickly sweet. Okay, so sometimes there's like suppressed anger that can come in there. So it's like on the outside, they might appear as very pretty and pretty and sweet, but there could be like a depth underneath that that's like you cross them and they go and they'll get you. But it's not to say Jacqueline's a bad person, it's just she's got that potential of sometimes falling into either a role of a victim or a martyr if she's living negatively. Of course, they're both mind numbers, so they're very expansive, consciousness expanding numbers, but there's this beautiful creative aspect that comes through for her as well. Now she's in a 4 and 8, 8, 9, 10, 14. She's in a 5 as well. Isn't that interesting how all of you guys are in the personal year cycle 5s at the moment? And the 5 is connected with this, which is Mercury, green over green. So it's about space, it's about freedom, not wanting to feel restricted. So again, it's this whole thing of like, okay, during a shutdown, like a lockdown, like we're going through at the moment, this can feel quite suppressive to people. And and especially to someone like Jacqueline as well, who already suppresses her emotions because she doesn't know how she feels. She needs this year to feel freedom. So I would strongly recommend that she does something very creative. So if you're a bestie, maybe jump on to Zoom later on together and get her to start expressing her creativity. I think it will really help her. So Shannon Chowdhury says, I'm so curious to see what you come up with. Thank you. I love all that you do. It's so helpful. Thank you so much, Shannon, for saying that. I really appreciate that. And Shannon is the 16th of the 2nd, 1980. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so Haley says, I'd say it's very spot on for her. She works in aged care, which you mentioned in regards to the two. Absolutely. You see, when people have got those twos, they naturally they gravitate towards, it's normally either old people because they, you know, they're empathic and they want to help and care for them, or children or animals. It's normally one of the three. So hopefully she's going to enjoy that anyway. Teresa, hello, Teresa, December the 22nd, 1976. We've got Stephanie Milligan as well. I'm going to get through as many of you today as I possibly can. Kimberly, yes, B2. There you go. So anyway, that's all good. So yeah, please let me know what Haley, what Jacqueline thinks of that. Now I'm going to move on to somebody else now. Let's have a look. Shannon, I'm going to go to you next. Okay, Shannon. Excellent. Now, Shannon is born on the 16th of the 2nd, 1980. Shannon. The 16th, the 2nd, so 16th of February, 1980. I'm going to double check my numbers now after that little tete-a-tete earlier. So 1, 2, we've got a 6 there, we've got the 9, we've got the 8. Okay, interesting, Shannon. So you're a day number 16 person like me. Now, in numerology, 16 is a karmic number. So I know this really well because obviously me and my partner, we're both born on the 16th of October, believe it or not. There's a year between us. However, the 16 is the tower in traditional tarot. And we all know about the tower, don't we? The tower, you know, is like a destruction of old things for consequent clarification. So a lot of the time, the 16 being a karmic number, it can mean that there be times in your life where everything will break down, all right? And it will feel bloody hard. And, you know, I've had several of these times in my life where, you know, but you learn so much through it, because obviously you think about the 6 and the 1 is a 7. 7 is that Neptunian energy, which is your day number. So remember, it's the Roman god of the sea, it's the spiritual teacher. So often through difficulties, we learn lessons that we can then share with other people. So this is the influence that you've got. It's that 16 energy. And I'll show you what the 16 looks like in the color mirror system. Shall I, Shannon? I can see it right behind my head there. It's this one here. All right. So this can often mean as well for people that they're gay, that they question their sexuality, or they explore their sexuality as well. When you get the olive and lilac colors together like that, it can bring up that. So that's your bottle 16. So that's the tower bottle. Okay, that's your destruction. So this is your day number influence, your 7 energy, your Neptunian. So you need to learn through your own experience, Shannon. No one can tell you how to live your life. So for you, it's about, you know, getting things wrong, dusting yourself down, getting back up again, and then hopefully sharing that wisdom with other people. You've also got the arrow of the inquirer as well, like we saw earlier on, which is about, you can be a little bit skeptical. That was with Jacqueline, wasn't it? Bit skeptical of new concepts until you've got your own proof. But when you get your own proof, you become that convert, and you'll then share that information with other people, and you'll be very pro it. We can also see that you've got 2 1s, so a very beautiful, balanced verbal self-expression. So you're a good listener as well as being a good speaker. It's the perfect balance for your masculine energy. Your feminine energy is perfectly balanced. Sensitivity, perfectly balanced. You've got 1 2, but you get the surrogate 2 because you're a woman. You've got a 1 6, very creative. You love the family. You're very independent, organized, and you like to be in control as well. Now, remember that 8 is about control too. So if you've got 8s in your birth chart, you want to be in control. All right. You want to make sure that you are the one that rules the roost. So your Shannon, your ruling number is a 9, 10, 18, 19, 26, 27. So you're a ruling number 9 like me. So actually, our numbers are very similar, Shannon. So I'm a ruling number with a 16-day number. So these are the 2 colors. So the 9, remember, is the healer, the spiritual teacher. This is the spiritual teacher. So this is the wisdom that comes through, the person who wants to be of service, the humanitarian that wants to teach. All right. So really, they're the color influences. They're my color influences too. So I totally understand this one, Shannon. And you know, but remember what we said about the 9. The 9 is a humanitarian. It's very ambitious. It's very idealistic as well. So sometimes it sees reality through rose-colored spectacles. All right. But really wants to be of service. So this person's a mind number as well. There's a lot of wisdom because the 9 carries the weight of all of the numbers that go before it. So all of the wisdom and information that comes through from the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you're 9. So it's got a lot of wisdom. But you see the red energy that sits in the conscious mind here. This can sometimes lead to, sort of anger. So if you're feeling anger, and a lot of it's because you feel you're a sensitive person that sometimes feels abused or misunderstood, and it can create frustration, and that can be expressed usually, this beautiful cooling, trust and faith that can come into a bit as an antidote really to that, or just having space and freedom. Space and freedom are very important for the Mars energy because it gives them the chance to be able to not be so affected by the outside world. And you're in a 4, 6, 12, 13. You're in a 4 this year. So you actually are in a line with the universal year cycle. So your personal year cycle is a 4. Obviously, we're in 2020. So universally, we're in a 4 as well. So for you this year, Shannon, you might find that a lot of things are breaking down around you. Disruption for consequent clarification. Excellent. So Lakey says sharing the 16th of October. Yay. Another OCT 16. That's what Mark and I call them. We always call them OCT 16s. So yeah, so there you go. So this is yellow over deep turquoise. The planet of the future. Remember that. Okay. So this is your cycle. All right. So it might be it's a trough year in Pythagorean numerology. So it can feel that nothing's moving forward in your life. But, a lot of the time things can break down around you as well. So getting rid of old people in your life that are no longer resonating with you, old places, you might be thinking about moving house, old jobs that are no longer serving you. All right. So it's a way that you can clear the path for a much brighter future. All right. So let me know, Shannon, tell me how that went for you. Did that make sense for you? Did you resonate with that? Remember, if you want a more detailed reading, Shannon, obviously we're only doing some very small insights today. I can also put together a personalized numerology port for you. They're only on for $39, I think, at the moment on special during the COVID lockdown. And that'll be like a PDF report that I'll email through to you, and that will be all of your beautiful color influences, and your name influences, your name chart and your birth chart, and it will look at some of your starseed origins and your soul purpose and direction as well. So it'll be a very informative chart. Okay, excellent. There you go. So Shannon says, yes, thanks, Hayden. That's why I get you, lol, all of it. Brilliant. Excellent. Absolutely, Shannon. Absolutely. Now let's have a look at the Lakeys on the 16th of October. What year are you, Lakey? If you give me what year it is, I'll show you a bit more about that. So Haley says, very curious about family members sharing the same ruling numbers. As I'm a 29 over 11, Haley. Yep, you are. Your husband is a 3811, and my older son is an 11 as well. My daughter is an 8, and her youngest son is an 8. That's 3 11s and 2 8s. Wow, what a household, Haley. That's what I can say. You're a very wise family. You see, the 11s are a master number, and they want to guide humanity forward into the golden age. So they've got a spiritual purpose on the planet. But remember, a lot of 11s never wake up to their spiritual purpose, and they can ultimately then end up leading quite humdrum lives, because the 1 and the 1 together is a 2, and the 2 is the follower rather than the leader. So, it really is important to harness the power of the other numbers in your chart to be able to activate certain areas of your chart as well. So it's a bit like feng shui, where you cure and remedy certain things and rebalance your chart with color frequencies and vibrational essences. So you're 1985, Lakey. Okay, so let's have a look at Lakeys now. Okay, so Lakey. Excellent. Lakey Stewart. Where are you, Lakey? Where are you? So you're the 16th of the 10th, 1985. Excellent. All right, so Lakey. 1 1 9 8 6 5. You're welcome. Excellent. So there we go, Lakeys. we're getting a lot of people today who have this beautiful arrow of determination. You've seen that. So again, you know, you're very persistent. You're like a dog with a bone. When you get an idea into your head, when you get a goal set for yourself, you will see that through to finality, no problem whatsoever. You are the 16th. We know about the 16 already because we've just talked about it. So you've got this thing that happens in your life where sometimes, you know, you have to have disruption for consequent clarification. You are a teacher as well. That beautiful spiritual energy, the Neptunian energy comes in there, that turquoise energy. You've got to learn to live in faith instead of doubting and questioning things. Learn to live in faith, because the Librans like balance. Remember, Librans are you know, the archetypal peace lovers. So for them, you know, their color is green. You know, it sits right in the center of the color spectrum. So you got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So 3 either side, green in the middle. And of course, the Libra scales. So they are the archetypal peacemaker. You know, they like compromise. You know, they like harmony in relationships and stuff like that as well. So you know, for you, you know, you're that person within the family dynamic, the one that balances things out. You're very independent as well. There's a lot of creativity about you too, Lakey, but you're a 9, 10, 18, 19, 23, 24, 24, 30, 31. So you're a ruling number 4 person. Okay. So you actually do like the material aspects of life. So you like to have nice things. Again, you're very practical as well. So, you know, you're a practical Libra. Libra's an air sign, and air signs are usually a little bit sort of floaty, a bit whimsical. You know, they're kind of like float off into the cosmos a little bit and not very grounded. But for you, you're actually quite a grounded one. And I'd say that for you, you know, you like physical involvements in life. Again, you know, you'll probably find with the influences of Uranus and the Tower that you also go through periods of your life where everything has to break down for it to then be rebuilt. All right, so don't worry when things like that happen. Often it's for your soul's evolution. So see it as a positive. And this can be in relationships, it could be with jobs, it could be with houses, it could be with careers, whatever it is. You know, that 4 energy can be quite challenging sometimes, Lakey. You're in a 4 at the moment, 4, 5, 5, 5, 10, 11, 12. So 4, 5, 11, 12, 3. You're in cycle 3 this year. So for you, it's great for learning. So it's the perfect opportunity, Lakey, for you to learn something new. Maybe you learn numerology with the Dreamtime Academy. But, you know, what I would suggest that you do is utilize your mind power this year, your imagination. If the 3 is about imagination, it's about memory. So it's a great time for retaining information. It's also a great year for expansion as well. So seeing things evolve, your business might expand, because 3 is Jupiter energy, and Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. So it wants expansion. This is also a year where you'll learn to self-accept, do more work on self-love and self-acceptance. So, but it's learning. You really will retain that information a lot more, because 3 is a left brain. It's that logical, rational side. Okay. So Laura, if you want to order something from me, there's some links in the comments box underneath in the description. All the links are in there. So if you want to order a numerology report, just click on the link and you can order one there. If you wanted to order the Zoom course, then you can order it there. Also, if you wanted a personalized consultation with me, then they're available via Zoom as well. So yeah, all the links are underneath. Just click on the link and order away. And also your reports are in there as well. So if you wanted a personalized numerology report, all the links are down there. And that, the same applies to all of you. Get on board, get your deals whilst they're lasting as well, because at the moment, obviously, it's only really going to be like this until the end of COVID. And I'm doing this really because I want to, you know, just help raise the vibe whilst we're all stuck in lockdown, and shine a little bit more joy onto the planet. Okay. So we've got Moigan Zera. Okay, Moigan Zera, that's a beautiful name. What a lovely name. Now, whereabouts is that name originating from? That's gorgeous. Lakey, let me know what you thought of your reading. Did that resonate with you? Did you feel that? Excellent, Stephanie. Thank you. Ah, okay. So Teresa Noreen, I live in Maryland in the US. Just wanted to say thank you for all your starseed descriptions. Super helpful. I've sent quite a few people over to you. Color is life and information. Absolutely right, Teresa. I couldn't have put it better myself. Color is life and information. It truly is. We've got Archangel Seraphina, beautiful Seraphina on the 11th of the 7th. Oh, thank you very much, Rosiel says, I'm a joy. Excellent. Well, I think I've got time for one more today. We've gone slightly over today, and I've got an appointment at 10:30 with a client. So I'm going to do one more. So what I'm going to say is, to make it fair, to keep it fair, the first person who puts their date of birth and tells me what my ruling number is, so this will prove that you've been listening, all right, in the comments section below, we'll get the next reading, okay? Excellent. So we've got another 1972 there, loyal to a fault. There you go. So Lakey Stewart says, okay, so loyal to a fault says ruling number 9. Okay, but I need the ruling number, and I also need your date of birth as well on the same thing. I wish I was born in. Oh, you're. Oh, there we go. That's it, Bella. Right, Bella, we're with you. Excellent. But I think we're with you. Yeah, we are. Okay, so Bella says this, she's the 16th of the 11th, 1995, and a 9. Excellent. All right, so Bella, we'll come to you next. Now, if you've missed out today for any reason, please don't worry. Remember, you can get your personalized report. You can book a session with me. That's absolutely no problem at all. And or you can just jump back on next Friday as well. Remember, next Friday, I'm going to be offering another hour of free insights like this. Okay, so Bella. There you go. So Shannon says, Hayden, I find it crazy that those colors are all the colors I see in my aura, as well as magenta, purple, turquoise, which is all of those colors mixed up. There you go. Absolutely, Shannon. It's so interesting. And the colors actually that you've mentioned there are all evolved colors. These colors that you've mentioned, magenta and turquoise, are very color mirrors, ascended colors, because magenta relates to Metatron and turquoise relates to Atlantis. Gold is another one. Gold's another one. Roland, life path number 22. What would that mean for a starseed? That's a really good question. Okay, so a life path number 22, we often find that your some of the volunteers that come to the planet from different star systems to be able to help guide humanity forward. The interesting thing is, like, when it's 12th of the 1st, 1971, I would be very inclined to put you have to look at the natal chart in quite a lot of detail. So I'm just going to work on my intuition on this one, and I'm getting Pleiades for you, Roland. So look at the Pleiadian traits and then let me know how that went. Got Cardinal Water. Hello there, Cardinal Water. How are you today? Now, we are finishing up in just a second. Obviously, I'm going to be going to Bella Tran now. So Bella, again, is Bella Tran is the 16th of the 11th, 1960, 16th of the 11th, 1995. Excellent. Okay, so we've got the 111. Wow, you got 4 ones. You got 2. You got 6. You got 2 9s and a 5. There we go. Interesting. Okay, so there we go. Bella, another one with the arrow of determination. We've got a very determined bunch with me today, very persistent people. And I guess that's why you're watching and, you're holding out so that you can get your insights today. That's absolutely fantastic. Now, you've got the 4 ones there. So for you, it's very challenging for you to be able to talk about how you feel. All right. So there's a restriction around verbal self-expression. When they have 4 ones, it can be very challenging. You do know how you feel, which is good. You're again that day number 16 again that's coming, which is the Tower energy. It's that teaching, learning through your own experience to become a teacher, but sometimes having to learn through quite difficult, life-changing lessons. That's your 16 energy. So that's your 7 Neptunian, Roman god of the sea. This really is the ruler of mysteries, illusions, magic, miracles, and faith. And your 16 energy is that beautiful lilac and olive bottle that I showed you earlier. You're a 9, 10, 19, 24, 25, 26, 32, 33. You're 33 over 6. Master number, bing, 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 bing. Bella, you're a master number 33. Now I'm going to show you the 33 bottle in the color mirrors system. All right, and this is it here. All right, so 33. Okay, so the 33 is a 6. Okay, so Pythagorean numerology will reduce it to a 6. 6 is Venus energy, which is the planet of love. But this 33 is about mastering love. Mastering love, which is pink over rose pink. So this is like your life path, really. It's about learning to master love and helping other people to master love, because you've got the turquoise teacher and the master energy that comes through Bella. So you are a master teacher. So I'd say you're Andromedan. Look at my Andromeda Starseed video, okay? Because the Andromedans come here to teach people how to love themselves unconditionally and recognize that they are divine love in the process, okay? Because that's the truth of who we really are. And it's interesting, as I'm watching this, I'm seeing there's 16 of you watching me right now as we're talking about the number 16. So lots of serendipity and lots of syncs going on. Does that make sense to you, Bella? Yeah. So, you know, pink is really unconditional love, and rose pink is that amplified in a lot of ways because it's deeper, it's divine love. All right, so it's that beautiful sense of mastering love, the 3-3, expansion in love. It's all about growth. It's all about, you know, sharing that. But obviously mother issues can come up with this as well. Remember the pink energy. And also if you're living negatively, you can fall into the role of the victim and, you know, feel like you're not safe on the planet and stuff like that. But there's a lot of creativity that comes through that. You know, you put the 3 and the 3 together, it's a double, it creates the 6. It's fertility. So it's about birthing new projects and ventures as well. You're here to help people. You've got the 2 9s in there as well, and you've got that gorgeous creative 6 energy as well. So you definitely are somebody who's come to this planet with a beautiful, open, Andromedan, loving heart, and you're here to share that beautiful wisdom of wealth with the rest of the world. Excellent. All right then, guys, look, I'm gonna love you, leave you. Remember to join me next week as well between 9 and 10 Western Standard Time. Make sure you tell all of your friends about this as well. Share this this love with your friends, and hopefully next week we can have an even bigger group together and have some more fun. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Lots of love. Mwah. Bye for now. You're welcome, Bella. There you go. Jenny goes, please, one more. Jenny, make sure that you come back next week and I'll definitely do you a reading, okay? All right? Excellent. And if you can't wait that long, get yourself a report. They're only 39. There you go. Fantastic. Lakey, blessings. G-Link Joy. Rosiel, thank you. Bye, guys. Bye.